Have you ever wondered if the world around us is speaking a language we cannot fully hear? Imagine for a moment that every leaf, every ripple of water, every swirl of a galaxy is not random, but part of a secret design. What if nature itself hides codes, patterns, and messages, waiting to be discovered by those willing to look closer? This is not just fantasy. From ancient philosophers to modern scientists, many have believed that hidden patterns in nature hold the key to understanding life, the universe, and perhaps even ourselves. Let's begin with one of the most fascinating mysteries of all, the idea that nature loves repetition. Look at the spirals in seashells, sunflowers, hurricanes, and galaxies. They all follow a precise mathematical rule, known as the Fibonacci sequence. This simple set of numbers, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, and so on, describes a pattern that keeps reappearing everywhere. But why? Why does a sunflower arrange its seeds in spirals that follow Fibonacci numbers? Why does a snail's shell curve in perfect alignment with this sequence? Scientists believe it may be because such patterns allow nature to pack things more efficiently, conserve energy, or grow in harmony with balance. Yet, beyond the science, there is something deeply mysterious, as if nature has been written with a universal code. Take fractals, for example. Fractals are shapes that repeat themselves endlessly, no matter how much you zoom in or out. Picture the branches of a tree. Each branch looks like a smaller version of the whole tree, and each twig looks like a smaller version of the branch. This recursive design, known as self-similarity, is everywhere in nature, from the veins of leaves to the structure of our lungs to the lightning bolts that cut across the sky. What's truly stunning is that these patterns are also found in the vastness of the universe. The way galaxies cluster together, the paths of rivers, even the rhythm of our heartbeat, all mirror fractal geometry. It's as if the micro and the macro are connected, speaking the same hidden language. But patterns in nature are not only about shapes. They are also about rhythm. Think about the beating of your heart, the pulsing of your breath, the rising and setting of the sun, the waxing and waning of the moon, the changing of seasons. All of these follow cycles. Ancient civilizations were deeply aware of these rhythms, often building temples, calendars, and entire belief systems around them. The Mayans tracked the movement of planets with incredible precision. Stonehenge was aligned to solstices. Farmers planted and harvested crops by lunar phases. Even our bodies follow hidden cycles, from circadian rhythms that govern our sleep to hormonal cycles that regulate growth and reproduction. These repeating rhythms tie us to the universe in ways we rarely notice, yet cannot escape. And then there are patterns that seem almost magical. Take the flocking of birds or the schooling of fish. How is it that hundreds or thousands of creatures move in perfect harmony, changing direction in an instant, without a leader or signal? Scientists have studied this for decades, and the answer lies in simple rules followed by each individual, such as keep a certain distance or align with your neighbor. But the outcome looks so complex and beautiful that it feels like a dance choreographed by nature itself. This phenomenon is called emergence, when simple rules create astonishing complexity. It shows us that the hidden intelligence of nature may not be in one mind, but in the collective behavior of many. Now imagine this: what if all these patterns are not just coincidences, not just accidents of biology or physics, but evidence of a deeper truth? Could it be that nature is whispering to us, leaving behind clues to the mysteries of creation? The spirals, fractals, rhythms, and symmetries, are they simply the mechanics of life, or are they the fingerprints of something greater? This is the journey we will take together, to uncover the hidden patterns of nature, to decode the silent language of the universe, and to ask what it all really means. Because the more we look, the more we realize, nothing is random, and everything is connected. One of the most astonishing places where hidden patterns reveal themselves is in the world of sound and vibration. When sand, water, or other particles are exposed to sound frequencies, they arrange themselves into breathtaking geometric shapes. This phenomenon is called cymatics. Imagine a plate covered in fine grains of sand. As sound waves pass through, the sand shifts and organizes into symmetrical mandalas, star-like patterns, and intricate designs. Change the frequency, and the pattern instantly changes with it. It is as if sound itself carries the blueprint of form. Could it be that the entire universe, vibrating at countless frequencies, is weaving the fabric of reality through hidden geometries we cannot see? These kinds of connections are why ancient cultures often saw music and mathematics as sacred. The Greeks spoke of the music of the spheres, the idea that planets and stars produce harmonic vibrations as they move through space. In India, the concept of Nada Brahma, meaning the world is sound, expresses a similar belief. Even today, physicists exploring string theory suggest that the fundamental particles of the universe may be vibrating strings of energy resonating at different frequencies. Once again, the ancient and the modern meet, whispering the same secret, that sound, vibration, and pattern are at the heart of existence. We also see hidden patterns in symmetry. Snowflakes are a perfect example. Each snowflake forms with six-sided symmetry, no matter how unique its design. The molecules of water bond in a specific angle, giving rise to this consistent geometry. Yet within that rule, infinite variety unfolds. No two snowflakes are exactly alike. This blend of order and uniqueness shows how nature balances structure with creativity. Symmetry isn't only about beauty, it is also about stability. Our bodies are symmetrical for a reason. It makes movement efficient, balance possible, and survival more likely. Nature uses symmetry like a hidden signature, quietly ensuring life thrives. Then there's the golden ratio, a number that appears in countless forms of life and art. Represented by the Greek letter phi, approximately 1.618, this ratio describes a proportion where the smaller part relates to the larger in the same way the larger relates to the whole. Look at a nautilus shell, the petals of a flower, the spiral of a galaxy, or even the proportions of the human body. The golden ratio is there, guiding growth and form. Artists like Leonardo da Vinci used it to create harmony in their masterpieces. Architects have applied it to design temples and monuments. But the most mysterious thing is that nature itself seems to prefer this ratio. Why does this specific proportion appear over and over, as though it is the language of beauty itself? Hidden patterns also live in chaos. At first glance, something like the weather may seem completely unpredictable. Storms, clouds, and turbulent flows look random. Yet scientists studying chaos theory discovered that even in these seemingly wild movements, patterns emerge. One famous example is the butterfly effect, the idea that a tiny action, like the flap of a butterfly's wings, could influence weather systems on the other side of the planet. This reveals that chaos is not true randomness, but a complex dance of patterns that we are only beginning to understand. Nature is not disorderly, it is deeply ordered in ways that escape our limited view. What makes all of this even more fascinating is how these patterns resonate with us on an emotional and spiritual level. We don't just see patterns, we feel them. Think about how calming it is to watch waves crashing rhythmically on a shore, or how satisfying it feels to gaze at a spiral galaxy, or how awe-inspiring it is to see a flock of birds move as one. These experiences stir something within us because we are part of these patterns. Our bodies, minds, and even our thoughts are woven into the same web of order that stretches across the cosmos. So the question arises, are we discovering these patterns, or are they discovering us? Do they exist outside of us, or are we simply recognizing reflections of our own inner design? The deeper we go, the more mysterious it becomes. Patterns in nature are not only visual, they extend into the invisible realms of energy and connection. Think about electricity in the human brain, billions of neurons firing in organized patterns that create thought, memory, and imagination. The brain itself is a fractal system, with branching neurons resembling trees, rivers, and lightning. The way we think, dream, and perceive reality mirrors the same designs that govern forests and galaxies. Could it be that consciousness itself is a pattern, a rhythm of energy that flows through us like a cosmic current? Consider also the way ecosystems operate. A rainforest may look chaotic, but hidden within its complexity are intricate networks of balance. Trees communicate through underground fungal networks, sharing nutrients and sending signals when danger is near. Predator and prey cycles follow repeating rhythms, ensuring survival and diversity. Even extinction and renewal seem to follow a larger pattern, one of destruction giving rise to rebirth, like a phoenix in endless cycles of time. What looks like randomness is actually a design of resilience and harmony. Water, too, reveals patterns that seem almost otherworldly. The spirals of whirlpools, the branching of rivers, the crystalline shapes of ice, all follow mathematical rules. When droplets fall, they form ripples that expand in perfect circles, reminding us that even the simplest actions echo in ordered ways. Some scientists even suggest that water holds memory, structuring itself according to vibrations and environments. If true, this would mean water, the very essence of life, is not just a substance, but a living archive of patterns. The hidden order of nature reaches beyond Earth, stretching across the universe. Spiral galaxies follow the same mathematical laws as shells and flowers. Nebulas form fractal-like clouds of dust and light, shaping themselves in repeating designs. Black holes, though mysterious, appear to obey symmetries that physicists are only beginning to decode. Everywhere we look, the message repeats: there is no chaos without order, no randomness without design. And perhaps the most stunning realization of all is that we are part of these patterns. Our DNA coils into a double helix, a spiral, just like galaxies and seashells. Our heartbeats create rhythms that mirror waves and cycles in nature. Even our choices, our lives, seem to follow patterns, habits, histories, and stories that repeat themselves through generations. We are not separate from the hidden designs of the universe, we are living expressions of them. When you begin to see these patterns, the world changes. Trees no longer look like random branches, they look like veins of the earth. Clouds become echoes of fractals. Your breath becomes part of the rhythm of oceans and tides. Life stops being a series of accidents and starts becoming a masterpiece of design. So, the question remains, are these patterns proof of a grand intelligence behind existence, or are they simply the mathematics of nature, endlessly repeating without purpose? Either way, the answer is equally awe-inspiring, because to witness the hidden patterns in nature is to glimpse the mind of the universe itself. If we step back and look at human history, we realize that ancient civilizations were masters at observing these hidden patterns. From the Egyptians aligning pyramids with the stars, to the Mayans mapping cycles of time, to the Indian sages studying sacred geometry in mandalas, they all knew that nature was not random. They saw numbers, shapes, and rhythms as sacred codes woven into the fabric of reality. To them, learning these codes was not just science, but a spiritual path, a way of aligning themselves with the order of the cosmos. Take the Fibonacci sequence, for instance. This simple progression of numbers, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, shows up everywhere in nature, in the spirals of pine cones, the petals of flowers, the arrangement of seeds in a sunflower. To ancient thinkers, this was evidence that the universe had a language, and that language was mathematics disguised as beauty. When they carved spirals into temples or painted geometric designs on sacred walls, they weren't just decorating, they were acknowledging the blueprint of existence. But modern science, too, is catching up. Biologists study fractals to understand blood vessels and lungs. Physicists explore symmetries to unlock the laws of particles. Climate scientists map repeating weather cycles, from El Niño to monsoon rhythms. Even technology mirrors nature's designs, antennas inspired by seashells, solar panels modeled after leaves, and AI learning algorithms that mimic the branching patterns of neurons. The hidden patterns that once felt mystical are now becoming tools to shape the future. And yet, there is something more, something science still struggles to explain. Why do these patterns not only exist, but also stir us so deeply? Why does the spiral of a galaxy or the symmetry of a snowflake feel so profound, almost spiritual? Some argue it's evolutionary, our brains evolved to recognize order because it helped us survive. But others suggest it hints at something greater, that the universe is not just mechanical, but alive with meaning, whispering to us through shapes, rhythms, and designs. Maybe that's why art, music, and myth resonate so strongly. They are human attempts to mirror nature's hidden patterns. Music follows mathematical scales that echo vibrations in nature. Myths often cycle through the same archetypes, like the hero's journey, repeating across cultures and time. Even our stories, our dreams, and our cultures unfold in spirals and circles, just like the cosmos itself. So, when you look at the veins of a leaf, the spirals of a seashell, or the stars in the night sky, know this: you are not just seeing random beauty. You are seeing the blueprint of life, the fingerprints of the universe, the echoes of a grand design that connects everything. And perhaps the greatest mystery is this: if these patterns are so universal, what new patterns remain hidden from us? What secrets are waiting to be discovered in the depths of space, in the ocean's abyss, or within our own minds? The patterns we already see suggest one thing: there is more. Much more. The hidden patterns in nature are not just designs to marvel at. They are keys. Keys to understanding the world, ourselves, and the unseen forces that weave everything together. And maybe, just maybe, if we learn to read them fully, we will unlock the ultimate secret, that life itself is the universe awakening to its own infinite design.